Yesterday we did see some backfiring operations in the Monrovia area. I'm going to zoom into that active flame there, and you see just below there's a structure there, a home it looks like, just below the fire there. So there is the closest home to that active flame. You see all the brush there between that home and the fire line. Ah, okay. Thank you, Kevin. Possibly a campground. There are water dropping helicopters fighting the fire on the fire line here. I'm going to come out real quick and show you on this hiking trail here how the fires burn right up to that line. You see firefighters down there working that fire line. And they're trying to hold that fire to that particular hiking trail or fire road. And you see it's burned right up to that line. Temperatures out here are warm on the fire line, and again, like I said, it's very hazy and smoky. I'll zoom out so you see just the conditions in the air, as we're very close to the hillside here, but you see all the smoke just pumping out. I'm panning to the left towards Pasadena, and you just see just a wall of smoke out here. Visibility, as I said, very poor. Following that hiking trail, you see that they've held the fire to the north side of that trail there. And I'm going to come in a little tighter here. It looks like maybe, oh yes, definitely. So there you see that man right in the center of your screen. I'm going to come in tight. You can see what he's doing. He has a canister there that's used to ignite the brush. So he's actually setting that brush on fire. That's how they're controlling it. That's how they're keeping it from jumping down that south side of that trail that they're on. They actually burn that fire back towards the fire line. That's called a backfire, or a backfiring operation here, where they burn off the fuel before the fire actually gets there. And they control that with the helicopters that are over here to make sure it doesn't get out of control. And that burns back towards the fire line, and essentially the fire will have nowhere to go once they burn that fuel off back towards the initial fire line. It's a very effective tool. The good news is there's not a whole lot of wind out here, and they're able to maintain that backfiring operation, make it successful. So basically that you're going to see that fire burn up the hill up towards this fire line here, and then that gives the fire no fuel left in front of it to burn. Again, Santa Anita Racetrack is the evacuation site for people that live in parts of Arcadia here and Sierra Madre. There's about 32 homes in Sierra Madre that are under the evacuation order. Coming back over to where the backfiring operation is taking place on this fire road, you see the firefighters there maintaining that brush to their backs of the south side, and they're doing that because there are a few homes just south of that. Just south of that fire line there's one of the properties, and you see some fire crews there with their apparatus. And then I'll pan over to the right here again. This is another property that's just to the south of where the fire is burning. So they're trying to maintain it so that it doesn't get into this brush and burn down towards those properties. Okay, is he coming in or? Thank you. Go for a pickup. Okay. Right in here. Aha, I see him. Thank you, Mike. My pilot, Mike Case, pointing out the helicopter coming in and getting some water out of the reservoir there. So as one dips and gets its water, a second one's coming in to do the same. That first one we saw that had a snorkel that sucks the water. This is called a Bambi bucket that will come in and dip into that water. And there you go, the bucket is in, sinks, fills up, and they lift. Where did the sky crane go? Do you see him? You see back? What do you? Oh, up high? I don't. Oh, I just, yeah, I see it. Okay. Gotcha. So the first helicopter, that sky crane with the snorkel, just dropped there. So very close distance away is their water source. They can come in, get their load of water, and then carry it over to the fire and put it on the fire line. You've seen this helicopter with the Bambi bucket. So watch this helicopter come into that same area, it looks like, where the sky crane just dropped, and we'll drop their water onto the fire line. Looks like he might be targeting this spot here. And should be releasing here any second. There it is. Great drop right on that fire line, cooling it down. And it'll be a couple of minutes and be back and dropping water on that fire line. So every little bit helps, knocking it down, cooling it down. And certainly for these homeowners here in Arcadia off of Highland Vista and Canyon Road. Every water drop counts. This is a look at the road. That's actually Santa Anita Avenue cutting through the hill going up into the canyon, and you see some fire vehicles up there. On the other side of that ridge is where the fire is burning, and they're going to try to make a stand there and stop that fire from cresting over that and coming down into this neighborhood. So that's part of the activity that's out here right now. And you should be seeing that sky crane coming in. Oh, there he is at the top there. You see firefighters, they're making their way up into the canyon on foot. They have some structures in that area, very few, but there are a few. We saw what looked like a campsite or a campground. And coming back over here, this is going to be the backfiring operation. It looks like those firefighters have it well under control. Again, they purposely set that brush on fire to burn up the canyon towards the fire line, essentially just wiping out all that brush before the fire can actually get down there to it. Again, the numbers for this fire, this is the Bobcat fire burning 32, just about 32,000 acres, 6% contained. At this point, it's we're looking at the southwestern flank of the fire right now, burning in the area of Arcadia. Evacuations for parts of Arcadia and Sierra Madre are in effect. 32 homes in Sierra Madre are impacted by that. And evacuations are east of Santa Anita Avenue and north of Elkins Avenue. So you watch the aerial assault by these helicopters that are dipping into this reservoir here in Arcadia, just maybe half a mile away from the fire line. Another great drop there. Yesterday we were here looking at Monrovia. This, I believe, was where the fire was burning. We're doing a backfiring operation. It looks like that was very successful. They were able to control that burn. You see the burn scar and the unburned brush in that particular part of the canyon. But then over here towards Arcadia is where the fires come down the hill. And that's why they are doing it again here with their backfiring activity being set here to prevent that fire from coming down and getting onto this side of that fire road, the south side, and burning down towards the home. So it was very successful. It looks like yesterday they're one ridge line over to the east in Monrovia. Here they're doing the same thing. They're going to burn that brush there that's going uphill, and it'll meet that fire right there, and the fire will essentially be out at that point in this particular area. So that's the purpose of that, what they do setting backfires like that. Once again, here's another look at the helicopter just a couple minutes ago, coming back with the water and dropping again on these hot spots. Very steep terrain, tough for the firefighters on the ground to get to, so the helicopters are very effective for knocking down those fire lines or those flames there. Hey Kevin, go ahead. Yeah, Kevin, this is Arcadia. This is Arcadia right off of Santa Anita Drive, or Ave. That's actually Santa Anita right there. It winds up the hill. Yeah, so that's Arcadia for sure. That's Canyon Drive, or Canyon Road, and Highland Vista Drive. They are the nearest homes to that fire above it. Yeah, it is. Let me move the camera around and see if I can find the slivers. Yeah, right here in the picture. This just to the west of that neighborhood. This is Elkins Avenue. That in fact, I'll put up the map for you so you can see it. Stand by. I'll get rid of. But that is Elkins Avenue. Okay, I'll spray that real quick. I think there's some police cars in that neighborhood. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll head back. I'm going to bring in our map systems just to show everybody at home the location, the streets, and where the fire activity is. You see Santa Anita Avenue right there going into the hills. The top of your screen, there's that water dropping helicopter once again. This area here where you're seeing Canyon Road and Cielo Place and Highland Vista Drive, that's all Arcadia. But if I swing the camera over a little bit, it is now moving over to the Monrovia, or I'm sorry, the Sierra Madre area. It's a little sliver that comes up the hill here, and you see Elkins Avenue there at the right bottom side of your screen. It runs left to right on the camera here. This area is Sierra Madre, so the homes in this area, we're talking 32 homes under evacuation in this sliver here of Sierra Madre. And the fire just on the other side of that ridge line right there, that's again Santa Anita Avenue cutting through. You see firefighters up there, and that's where the water dropping helicopters are focusing their attention. Back in that canyon is where firefighters are on the ground walking up into that area to fight the fire as well. So that's the layout here of how close the fire is. Backfiring operations underway as they try to fight fire with fire. And it looks like they're being very successful with that operation right now. Okay, yeah, that sounds good, Kevin. Just let me know when we're clear. There's going to be a press conference coming up at 3 o'clock to give the very latest on this Bobcat fire. You're seeing the sky crane working that area in the canyon that we were just talking about. There's the drop. The water coming down onto the back side of that hill. You see that there. So they're fighting that fire that's burning just on the other side of that ridge. You can see in this picture why the water dropping helicopters are so essential in fighting a fire like this. It is a steep canyon wall there with the brush burning. Very difficult for firefighters to get up there and fight it. It's just too steep, so they bring in the helicopters to put out that fire and suppress it. Fire helicopter coming in over those homes in Arcadia and going to make a drop once again on that steep terrain. There it is, boom. Here's one of the road closures, Santa Anita Avenue at Grandview Avenue. Cars are being diverted away from this area right now because it's very close to the fire line. There's the Bambi bucket underwater, fully loaded with water. They'll do the lift and fly. There's the lift. And off they go. Just a short distance away from that fire line where they made their last drop, coming into that area again to hit that some more. There's the fire, and there's the drop. Excellent, look at that, nice, nice drop. Okay. Copy, Kevin. Thank you. Well, we got the news conference coming up here in just a short time, just a minute out or so. We're going to discontinue our coverage here in the air of the Bobcat fire, 32,000 acres, 6% contained, but those numbers likely to be updated in that news conference that's coming up. This is Gil Davis in News Chopper 4 Bravo, signing off.
taller. Come up here.
I want to stand back over.
Perfect. Our other sheriffs.
Everybody
Okay,
does.
so.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Pretty good. Perfect.
Okay, so bring it up a little bit. So you're in the middle.
Okay.
Actually, can you go back? Come over. Go back just a little bit more. So we have two rows. You guys
Put
kind of
names
little
on
line.
these things or something. Yeah. You want mine?
Sit right there. Okay. Okay. You guys got. Come on, this side.
Wherever you want.
Okay, if you could come right here in the middle, right there. In between those shoulders, yeah. So, yeah, perfect.
1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5.
Okay. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Bobby, can you get in the middle here so I can see you? Yeah, perfect. Okay. You got sound?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you? How's the PA? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2.
One more time, Andrew.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You know, when I go around the corner,
All right.
half you guys don't get to know it. Oh, yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Mitchell, Public Information Officer for the Bobcat Fire. I'd like to welcome you to this afternoon's press conference announcing the evacuation orders for the city of Arcadia and Sierra Madre. Before we get started, I have a couple of housekeeping points I'd like to go over. One, this press conference will be recorded and later posted with closed captioning. Two, we will not be taking any questions after the conclusion of this press conference. Our speakers have to return their jobs as quickly as possible. And if you have any questions, we will have agency representation and PIOs available at the info trailer over here. With that said, I would like to introduce Jerry Mcgowan, Incident Commander for the California Incident Management Team 1. Jerry.
Good afternoon. I will give you a quick update on the incident. It's been a pretty busy day today for pretty much every agency, all the firefighters, and all the folks that are on the Bobcat fire. So what I'll do is I'll point out, I'll use my stick here and go around the incident here and kind of give you a quick brief on what's going on. So our priority right here is obviously working around here in the lower end on the south end of this fire in Monrovia and then Arcadia and Sierra Madre to keep this fire above all the structures within this area here. That's one of our first and utmost priorities of trying to keep this up out of here and into Santa Anita Canyon. Firefighters are working very, very hard to try to keep this up into this country. They're working. They're currently working right here as the fire is backing down into the Santa Anita drainage. Up here, up into this area, this is the station fire of whatever that's imprinted here. The fire hasn't moved a whole heck of a lot here, really, at this point in time. As we go up into the north end of this fire, up by Highway 2, we are getting a little bit of spotting going on right now. Firefighters are doing a great effort of trying to corral those fires up on the top here, keeping this on Highway 2 and bringing it down along the 39. As they come down to the 39, this thing is kind of backing down towards the Highway 39, and we're holding it. There's a lot of great effort going on in there. And as we come into here, we have several fires. As you can remember, the ranch fire, we got the fish fire 2016. We're tying it into lighter fuels to where firefighters could have a better chance of working on the incident. of the update.
Next, we will have Barry Spriggs, who will be speaking for the Arcadia Fire Department and Police Department, and he will be joined by Brent Bartlett, the interim fire chief for the Sierra Madre Fire Department.
Good afternoon. This morning at about 8:50 a.m., the city of Arcadia issued an evacuation order for the portions of our community north of Elkins Avenue and east of Santa Anita Avenue. Arcadia PD was notified. They began the evacuation process with assistance from local law enforcement agencies. The residents were urged to leave the area and exit down Santa Anita Avenue to an evacuation center located at Santa Anita Racetrack, which Red Cross will talk about a little further. Also, the city of Sierra Madre still is under an evacuation warning at this time due to the Bobcat fire and how it continues to move towards the communities of the foothills. Thank you.
Next, we will have Debbie Mazzara from the Red Cross.
Hi, I'm Debbie Maraza, American Red Cross. We just want to let you know that we did open a shelter point, evacuation point this morning when we got word of the evacuations. We are at Santa Anita Racetrack, Gate 5, which is on the east end. Very easy to access. The evacuees can go there for assistance for their safety and shelter needs while this evacuation is underway. So if you need to get there, just drive in Gate 5. You'll be directed. You won't need to get out of your car. We'll make contact and help meet your needs. Thank you.
And that will conclude our press conference for this afternoon. A couple of notes. One, we will be having a community meeting live on Zoom tomorrow, starting at 6:30. People can find information how to join on our NC webpage. If you have any other questions, we will have agency representation, NPIs available in the information trailer as possible. Thank you for your time.
After our time together, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't take the mic and just drop it, because that was pretty good.
That was probably